Only a few months after stepping away from his role as Geralt of Rivia in The Witcher, Henry Cavill got the bad news that despite Warner Brothers saying, hey, don't worry, we're bringing you back for Superman, go ahead and announce it, James Gunn had a different plan, and Henry Cavill will no longer play the role as Superman. DC fans, we're not happy about this today. We're very critical of James Gunn in the direction that DC is moving away from Henry Cavill. But Henry Cavill said, you know what? This is enough. I've tried to do this. I've tried to do that. I'm just going to do this whole thing myself. And we got the news tonight that yes, indeed, Henry Cavill's next play is Warhammer 40K, something he's actually invested in because Henry Cavill, if you know this guy, he is a nerd. He is a dude who geeks out over the source material. It's one of the reasons he hated what these people at Netflix did to The Witcher. And it's one of the reasons he wanted so desperately to play a true and accurate Superman. Well, since those things weren't working, because these studios would not play ball, because the executives, all these people were getting in the way, Henry Cavill says, all right, I'll just do it myself. The streaming giant is in the process of closing the rights to the miniature war game. Now, the fact that this is almost a done deal with Amazon, that they'll be partnered with Amazon, doesn't exactly make people super happy, considering the entire debacle surrounding Rings of Power. But to me, when I look at what Amazon's been putting out on their streaming platform, it really just depends on who's in charge of the project. Something like The Terminal List, I thought was awesome. I love The Terminal List. I thought Chris Pratt was incredible in it, and Reacher came out not that long ago either. I really liked what they did with Reacher. So depending on who's in charge of these projects very much dictates how it'll go. Henry Cavill not only is set to star in this thing, but also be the one making all the decisions. Henry Cavill may not be donning a red cape, but he does have a cool new gig. The actor, who Wednesday officially hung up his Man of Steel cape after Warner Bros. Announced it's going in a new Superman direction, thanks to James Gunn and Peter Safran, is attached to star and executive produce a series adaptation of Warhammer 40K, the popular science fiction fantasy miniature war game that is set up at Amazon. Amazon is in final talks for the rights to the game, produced by Games Workshop, after months of negotiations and fending off rival companies that also sought the rights. And again, I'll reiterate, Henry Cavill is a massive nerd. This is a dude who I think was raiding in World of Warcraft, and he nearly missed the callback for Superman to know that he got the role for Superman. Like, this is a nerd. This is a geek. This is a dude who legitimately paints his own Warhammer figures. If you remember, this is back from April. Henry Cavill shares his latest Warhammer 40K paint job, and he put it over on Instagram. Let's see. Look at that. This is Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is doing this. He's taking the time to do something like this. Now, considering he's not playing Geralt and he's certainly not playing Superman, maybe he'll have a little more time to paint even more Warhammer 40K. But there's no doubt that when you get a guy like this invested in something like it, not only to star, but also to be an executive producer, to be part of the decision-making process, that could be massive. And for somebody who's had such a hard time dealing with writers, with creators, with producers, with directors, with all these people who want to do things completely contrary to the source material, you gotta love that a fan, a true fan like Henry Cavill, who also should be one of the biggest movie stars in the freaking world, despite the fact that people want to fight against that tooth and nail for some reason, it is awesome that he's going to have some semblance of control over a project like this, especially when it's at Amazon. No writers or showrunners are attached, although Vertigo Entertainment is attached to executive produce. Now, the next several paragraphs are just them explaining what Warhammer actually is. It's akin to Dungeons and Dragons, but also features intricate miniatures that players can place and move around a model-constructed battlefield or world. Warhammer's been around a long time. It's not something I've ever gotten into, to be fair and to be honest. It's always something, not necessarily the painting of the figures, but the lore surrounding the world itself seems really cool and really unique to me. I would love to jump in at some point when I'm not so freaking busy. But the reality is it's got a massive fan base, and Henry Cavill is somebody that could come in, not only be a star, but also be the guy that makes sure they stay true to the source material. Henry Cavill, after saying no to The Witcher and after being told no for Superman, says, fuck it, I'm gonna do my own thing, and you love to see it. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.